The rain had been falling for days, cold, endless sheets that turned the French countryside into a sea of mud and ghosts. It was December 1944, deep in the Ardennes forest, and the war that everyone thought was ending had just been reborn. The Germans had launched a surprise counterattack, what history would call the Battle of the Bulge. And somewhere in that frozen chaos, 12 American soldiers vanished without a trace. Private Daniel Rourke still remembered the sound of the radio crackling that night. Patrol Baker 2, report position. Static. Then silence. They were gone. Rourke was part of a small reconnaissance unit assigned to find them, or whatever was left. He'd only been in Europe for 3 months, and already he'd seen enough horror to last a lifetime. But this was different. This wasn't battle. This was something that felt wrong. They moved through the forest at dawn, rifles raised, boots crunching on the frozen ground. The trees stood like blackened pillars, their branches heavy with snow. It was eerily quiet, no gunfire, no birds, not even the distant rumble of tanks. Just silence, thick and unnatural. "Feels like the whole forest holding its breath," muttered Sergeant Cole, the oldest man in the squad. Rourke nodded but said nothing. Every step deeper into those woods felt like stepping into another world. Then they found the first sign. A helmet half buried in the snow, with a bullet hole clean through it. Next to it, footprints, dozens of them. But here what made their blood run cold, the tracks didn't lead forward. They circled in on themselves, like the men had been walking in loops. Hours passed before they stumbled upon the patrol's last known position, a small farmhouse tucked between the trees, its roof caved in from artillery fire. The radio inside was still humming faintly, though it shouldn't have been working. The table was set, plates, coffee mugs, even a pack of cards, as if the soldiers had just stepped away. No bodies. No struggle. Just gone. Corporal Hayes picked up a half-burned letter from the floor. It was dated 2 days ago, but the ink was still wet. That's when Rourke noticed the photograph pinned to the wall. 12 soldiers smiling, posing in front of a tank. Their unit number, Baker 2 Patrol. The same men they'd been sent to find. Only one thing was different. Standing at the edge of the photo was a 13th man, his face blurred as if the camera had refused to capture it. That night they made camp near the farmhouse. Snow fell heavier now, covering everything in white silence. Rourke took the first watch, eyes fixed on the dark tree line. Somewhere out there, a branch snapped. He swung his rifle toward the sound, nothing. Just the endless forest staring back. At 200 hours, Sergeant Cole woke screaming. Rourke rushed over. The man was drenched in sweat, trembling. "He was here," Cole whispered, "in the trees watching us." Before Rourke could ask who, Cole pointed to the edge of camp. There, half buried in the snow, lay another helmet with the same unit number, Baker 2. But this one hadn't been there before. By morning, the tracks of something or someone circled their camp. And Rourke realized the most chilling thing of all. There were 13 sets of footprints. By the next morning, the forest had swallowed the camp whole. Their footprints, their gear, even the ashes of last night's fire, all buried under a fresh layer of snow. Only the 13 sets of prints remained. And they led deeper into the woods. Rourke's breath fogged in the cold air as he studied them. 12 went missing, he muttered. So who's the 13th? No one answered. Even Sergeant Cole, normally unshakable, was quiet now. The silence wasn't just around them anymore. It was inside them. The squad moved forward, the forest closing in tighter with every step. Their compasses spun uselessly. Radio static screamed and died, and the daylight faded faster than it should have. Somewhere behind them, they could hear footsteps, steady, calm, deliberate. Whoever or whatever it was never showed itself. But it was always there. Private Hayes snapped first. "I'm done with this, we're walking in circles," he shouted. Rourke grabbed him, trying to keep him quiet, but it was too late. The woods answered with a whisper. A voice. Soft, close. It said his name. They broke into a clearing at dusk and froze. Ahead of them stood a group of American soldiers, rifles slung over their shoulders, uniforms tattered and frozen with blood. The missing patrol. Baker too. But something was wrong. They weren't moving right, stiff, mechanical, like puppets pulled by invisible strings. And at the front of the group was a man whose face none of them could see clearly, the 13th man from the photograph. He stepped forward slowly, boots crunching in the snow. When he spoke, his voice was hollow, like it came from underground. "You shouldn't have come here." Cole raised his weapon, voice shaking. "Identify yourself, soldier." The figure tilted his head. "You left us," he whispered, "and now you stay with us." Gunfire erupted, blinding flashes in the dark. When the echoes died, the clearing was empty. No bodies. No soldiers. Just the whisper of the wind through the trees. Rourke looked around, heart pounding. Cole was gone. So was Hayes. The only thing left on the ground was that same faded photograph, now showing his own face among the 13 men. Days later, another American unit found the farmhouse. The radio was silent, the snow undisturbed, except for 13 sets of footprints leading into the woods, and none coming out. The army listed them as missing in action. But some say, on cold nights in the Ardennes, you can still hear the radio hum faintly, and a voice whisper through the static. "Baker 2, report position."